pre-show. We don't know if it's live or not.
Tonight on 6 on Your Side at 10 o'clock, 2 undetonated explosive devices found by Idaho workers under a bridge.
Idaho sends dozens of aircraft to California to aid in the fight against historically devastating wildfires. And later in the newscast.
He's very crafty, very inventive.
We speak with specialists and a local mother about how too much screen time can delay the development of fine motor skills in children.
6 on Your Side at 10 starts now.
Thanks for joining 6 on Your Side. I'm Michelle Edmonds.
And I'm Don Nelson. Our top story at 10, an ongoing wildfire emergency in California.
Most definitely driven by strong winds, 2 devastating fires taking an historic toll on the Golden State. The number of confirmed deaths tonight rising to 50, with thousands of homes destroyed. ABC's Natalie Brunell has the very latest.
Firefighters taking no chances as ferocious new flames explode in the Woolsey fire Tuesday morning.
The terrain is too steep. You can't get hand crews in here.
Just 10 miles away, evacuation orders finally lifting. Homeowners returning here to Calabasas to see what's left of their homes. Melanie Turkwan shot this video of the same street as the inferno whipped fireballs at her property. She's counting her blessings her home was spared.
I really thought we lost it. When we pulled away from here, we thought it was burning to the ground.
To the north, the Camp Fire has wiped out entire towns, claiming dozens of lives. Hundreds remain unaccounted for as cadaver dogs scour the ruins. Many more are grateful to have survived the state's most destructive, deadliest fire on record.
There's explosions everywhere. Oh my God, people's tires are popping.
ABC's Will Carr met Michelle and Danielle Simmons, who barely escaped the flames with their 4 kids.
It's okay, you guys, it's okay. Just keep going, baby, keep going. There's a woman on the side of the road running with her baby.
Do you know if she made it?
We don't know.
The entire Simmons family, more than 50 people, all losing their homes.
It's that fine line between just being so incredibly grateful to be alive and just so sad because, you know, that was our life.
Officials expect the death toll in the Camp Fire to climb even higher, and they say the painstaking process of searching the rubble for bodies could take weeks. Natalie Brunell, ABC News, Calabasas, California.
Idaho is throwing a lot of resources at those fires.
They need it, right? Yeah. Our state, has deployed 44 aircraft, 8 loads of equipment and bulldozers, and more than 30 managers and crew. More than a dozen other states also sending help to try and save property as the fires are still far from contained.
The fires in California, it only took a matter of hours before they realized we've got to start asking for more resources because these fires are moving so quickly and they've become so large so quickly.
If you'd like to help out the people or the first responders in California, officials at the National Interagency Fire Center in Boise say the best thing you can do is to call the local Red Cross.
Scott joins us with his first look at weather, but I have to ask you first, are they going to catch a break in California with as far as those winds?
You know, I've got a chart. It's going to talk about changing the weather pattern. We need to get rid of the wind first, which is the key, because then the firefighters can do their job, and then bring the rain in.
Yes.
And I do see both occurring. Wind will settle down first. It's going to take a little while, and then the rain will come in, and I'll show that map coming up in just a little while. So there's some bright news. But typically, so this is the driest time of year for California. Typically, the rain has already started, but it's been getting delayed a lot lately as temperatures warm across the west. So that's why we're getting more fires. Fire season lasting a lot longer. So rain will come in. At least it's on schedule, but it could be at least a week. I'll show you when coming up. 50 degrees for the high today, 1 degree above where it should be. So pretty typical for the afternoon, but we've had those cold mornings at 25. This is the problem right here. A half inch of rain is where we should be, if not more. We're a half inch behind where we should be because we've had very little precipitation so far. So if you've got plans over the next few days, I don't expect much of a change with 34 degrees right now at the Village at Meridian. The fountain show goes underway. 50% humidity, wind is calm. And look at these temperatures over the next few days, still hovering in the low 50s. No big change coming in. One change that may occur, some of the high clouds we had today seem to be thinning out. This here will eventually be a front that will make its way towards Idaho and could bring some snow to central Idaho, but not much. And I'll explain that coming up. Teens and 20s tomorrow morning. By midday, temperatures are getting to the lower 40s, and by afternoon, high temperatures right around 50, just like today. So is there snow headed to Idaho? I'll talk about that coming up next.
All right, thanks, Scott. 2 undetonated explosive devices have been safely disposed of after they were found below an Idaho bridge.
Interesting discovery, right? The Idaho Transportation Department says the old military ordnance were discovered during maintenance repairs on the Idaho Highway 45 bridge over the Snake River near Celebration Park south of Nampa. ITD says divers were inspecting the base of the bridge pier underwater. Look at this. When they discovered the first ordnance, that's back on October 31st. A bomb squad from the Nampa Police Department contained the device, and the personnel at Mountain Home Air Force Base safely detonated it off-site. Okay, and then the next day, another device discovered in the same area, about 20 feet underwater is where we're showing you. A Navy team was dispatched to remove it and sweep the area for any other explosives. That device also safely detonated by the Air Force. ITD plans to conduct a thorough search of its own before resuming any repair work. A spokesperson says this was a rare occurrence, you can imagine, and unlikely to happen again.
An update to a story we first brought you last night. The Ada County coroner is releasing the names of 2 people who died in a suspected murder-suicide in Meridian. Police believe 71-year-old Michael Clayton Boone shot his 69-year-old wife, Elizabeth Boone, before turning the gun on himself. Michael Boone was pronounced dead at the scene, while Elizabeth Boone was pronounced dead later at St. Alphonsus in Boise.
It is early in the flu season, but already a reminder of its sometimes deadly consequences. As
we told you, a northern Idaho woman in her 50s has already died from flu complications, and doctors are recommending people get their flu shots to prevent the illness. 6 on your side's Anna Silver has more.
Don, Michelle, it seems a bit early to start talking flu season, but according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, last year there were approximately 960,000 flu-related hospitalizations. Now they predict activity is expected to pick up in the next coming weeks.
Wow.
What's that?
That was quick.
Dr. Nasser at St. Luke's Capital City Family Medicine says he has already seen a few positive cases of the flu in his clinic this year.
The CDC published last year's mortality figures for the flu, and something like 80,000 people in the U.S. died of the flu last year.
But he says the intense part of the flu season hasn't hit yet.
We've seen significant outbreaks as early as late October and as late as April. So there's a broad range there. Typically we're seeing most of our flu cases in January, February.
He says researchers try to anticipate which strains will be most infectious.
They design the vaccine to address those, and some years they get it right and other years they don't. So there are certain years where certain strains of A are more common, and other years where certain strains of B are more common. We never exactly know until we're right in the midst of it.
Dr. Nasser says he recommends for anyone 6 months or older to get the vaccine. As for the theory of getting sick from the flu shot,
we give the flu shot during the time of year where people are getting sick for other reasons. And so understandably, people will say, oh, I got the flu shot last year and I got sick 3 days later. Must have been the flu shot. Not the case. It can't get you sick. But you might feel a little off for 1 or 2 days.
Now, children younger than 5, adults older than 65, pregnant women, and residents of nursing homes are especially susceptible to developing flu-related complications. For more information on this flu season's outlook, you can head to cdc.gov. Live in studio, Anna Silver, 6 on your side.
The American Red Cross is asking the public to help fill a blood shortage. They are in special need of platelets and the blood type O negative. That blood type can be donated to anyone, so it's always in high demand. The Red Cross says donations taper off during the holiday season, but the need for blood does not. In the Valley, the Red Cross has a donation center on Franklin Road in Boise, as well as multiple traveling buses. A donation generally takes less than an hour. To schedule an appointment, visit redcrossblood.org or just call 1-800-RED-CROSS.
They are literal lifesavers when you're in a car accident, but too often they're treated like a nuisance. This week, traffic responders are being recognized for the good work they do on the side of the road. Governor Otter declared this to be Traffic Incident Response Awareness Week. It is a reminder of how important it is to move one lane over when you see an emergency crew on the side of the road. Well, ECHD asking drivers to be aware of a new traffic pattern that is starting at State and Veterans Memorial Parkway.
We told you it was coming. Yep. It's here. A new through turn intersection to open tonight after peak traffic died down. And it means drivers will no longer be able to take a left-hand turn off of State Street. Instead, you'll have to continue straight through the intersection, pull a U-turn at the next light, and then drive back, and then you can take a right-hand turn.
Well, not everybody's so thrilled, though, with the change. Some folks worried about confusion and the possibility for accidents, but ACHD officials expect it to reduce wait times at that intersection by nearly half.
The whole point of this is the best functionality of the intersection for not just now, but for the future. So this is supposed to help with traffic flow by decreasing those wait times. And it's not just for now, it's for as we keep growing. And we're just going off of numbers that we are seeing now.
The plan also comes with multiple pedestrian crossings in an effort to make this intersection safer for everybody. A combination of engineers and inspectors will monitor the intersection and make sure everything runs smoothly.
Coming up on 6 on Your Side, an art fixture in downtown Boise gets a facelift.
And coming up in weather, our commute forecast for tomorrow. All looks good, lots of sunshine, but don't forget, a little yellow here at 8 o'clock in the morning. That sunshine slowdown heading into town. During the afternoon commute looks fine as well. Weather-wise, no problem. Sunshine here. We've got problems in Southern California. And when is the snow going to fly in Idaho? I can tell you when. Coming up.
You're watching 6 on Your Side with Don Nelson, Michelle Edmonds, and Scott Dorval with the On Your Side forecast. Now, Chief Meteorologist Scott Dorval with the On Your Side forecast.
Looking at that extended forecast for the next few days, I don't see a big change coming in. Still those chilly mornings. These are Boise low temperatures in the 20s. We've had some upper teens, especially in the Western Valley. But the high temperatures have crept up a bit. But you notice anything over the next week? Temperatures only 50 to 52. So in other words, not much of a temperature change coming in. So what other subtle changes might we see? Well, on Friday, a front approaches, so we may get more cloud cover Friday. Some snow showers in the mountains. Not a big storm. There could be a few inches of snow, especially up towards the Salmon River, up in the higher mountains nearby. But McCall may just get a dusting. And then breezy for the valley on Saturday, but not much colder. The low temperatures will drop a little bit, but not much of a change. Now we get to our almost to the busiest travel day of the year, the following Wednesday. That's when we could start to see some changes, not necessarily Wednesday, but into the weekend. That travel weekend coming up could be a little bit more dicey across the west, but really the focus could turn to California, which would be good news. Not a lot of wind tomorrow, but that little breeze still gives us that wind chill. We'll have a little less cloud cover tomorrow, so we break down the hourlies here. 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 45 degrees. We'll feel warmer because the breeze should be fairly light, but we have been getting that little breeze, especially in some of those normally breezier locations. But our highs tomorrow, again, be right around 50 degrees. So I did some raking today, found out it was perfect in the afternoon for wasn't too chilly. Look at all the greens here. No precipitation chances Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, nothing at all. Wind should be generally light. There'll be some breezes at times, but nothing major. Still got to get those leaves down, especially as the leaves get heavier, as they dry on out and become a little more dense, not so bad. And then I have dry conditions for the afternoon. Morning we can still get some frost, and then cloudy skies coming in Friday, but really not too much of a big deal with that. High clouds have drifted away. We'll still see a few more high clouds from time to time, but the rain is in the Pacific Northwest and not much of it. All the actions back east. We've had some flooding in Georgia. So where is it snowing now? It's not snowing in Idaho. It's snowing in Texas. It's snowing in northeast Texas right now and southwest Arkansas. And this is going to develop. This energy will hook up with this Gulf moisture and cause a nor'easter to form, giving pretty heavy snow to the Appalachians back east. So that's where the activity is. Here we've got high pressure and dry conditions, and that northerly flow of air is causing the windy conditions across Southern California. And because of the wind and the dry conditions, the red flag warning still persistent for much of Southern California, except for downtown Los Angeles. Everybody else is under that. So any new fire that starts, the same thing could happen. We've had the gusty wind down south, poor air quality a little further to the north. Here's our futurecast showing sunshine for tomorrow. Some cloud cover comes back into the north. They even go to Thursday. We still have the sunshine. And then on Friday, our front starts to sag to the south. We can increase the cloud cover on Friday, a chance of some snow showers around McCall, and then it will clear on out. So a good deal of moisture back east with that nor'easter. In the west over the next week, maybe just a little bit of rain in California. Don't see it in the next 7 days. But up in the northwest, we see some in northern Idaho here. Heavy rain will be up around Vancouver, Washington. But here's the big change right here. A chance of snow showers on Friday. That goes by with colder air. But look to the south. California's dry. Here comes the rain. Look at the data on this, though. In fact, this is an updated chart. It doesn't show the rain as dramatic. Around Friday the 23rd, and literally over the past few moments, a new computer run has come in, and this rain does not look as dramatic as it did, unfortunately. Let's hope that changes and we still get that precipitation to move on in. Quick check at the forecast for tomorrow. You remember today? Same story tomorrow. Upper 40s to near 50. A few less clouds around, but that's really about it. In the mountains, it's not going to be much cooler as well in the afternoons. High temperatures in the mountains still 50 to 53, and even in the McCall area, high temperatures should get right around 43 degrees. But this extended forecast, no change in temperature, 50 to 52 right through the next week. The dry weather continues.
That's kind of crazy.
This is crazy, and we need the moisture. And
we need the moisture. California needs the moisture.
Yeah, we're hoping it comes in about 10 days.
All right, thanks, Scott. Don?
Time often takes its toll on public art, and that's certainly true of murals. The Basque Cultural Center rededicating the Basque mural at 6th and Grove. After more than 18 years of wear and tear, the original artist created a new painting by digitally scanning the old one. He then created panels that will hang in the mural's original location. The original painting is now in the permanent collection of the Boise Department of Arts and History. Still to come on 6 on Your Side.
They crave that stimulation and almost get addicted to it.
Good job. A look at how too much screen time can adversely affect young people, especially those with sensory disorders.
Awesome. 6 on Your Side at 10 continues now.
Ask most kids what they want for Christmas, and you'll get a long list of the latest technology gifts.
But some experts warn that those devices can actually do more harm than good. 6 on Your Side's Jessica Taylor digs deeper into screen time and children's fine motor skills.
He's very crafty, very inventive. He can build just about anything.
Working with his hands is no easy feat for Dallin. He was diagnosed with sensory and language disorders, autism, and dyslexia at 8 years old, making tasks like holding a pencil or gripping a swing more of a challenge.
Those fine motor skills that most kids can just do and they take for granted, he's behind on those, but we've seen a lot of growth.
Growth due to his hard work and limits to his screen time. He works with the children's occupational therapist to improve those motor skills.
The idea for the Petty is to really help strengthen the hands. That helps him get a good anchor for his feet while he's sitting.
Molly says kids with fine motor delays are more sensitive to screen time repercussions.
A, because they need more time to move their bodies because of their delays, and B, because it really dysregulates children. They're off, they're cranky, they crave that stimulation and almost get addicted to it.
Screen usage can also affect your child's ability to pay attention. Molly says parents can work at home with their children and should be aware of how much screen time they are using too, because it can cause separation between you and your child. Luckily, that's not the case here.
It's fun. I like riding when I'm with Molly and my mom.
Jessica Taylor, 6 on Your Side.
The CDC is dealing with more confirmed cases of a rare polio-like illness that mostly affects children.
10 more cases of acute flaccid myelitis have been confirmed since last week, bringing the total for this year to 90. 162 possible cases are currently under investigation. The CDC says that's 23 more than last week. AFM, as it's known, is a rare illness that affects the nervous system. It can cause muscle weakness and sudden onset paralysis. Now, according to the CDC, 90% of patients since 2014 have been children under the age of 4.
Coming up on 6 on Your Side, unprecedented security measures in place as notorious Mexican cartel boss El Chapo goes on trial in New York. Well, it appears Amazon's new second headquarters will in fact be split between 2 cities, New York's Long Island and Arlington County, Virginia, a suburb of Washington, D.C.
The news comes more than a year after Amazon set off a bidding frenzy in more than 200 cities across the country, including Boise, all hoping to land what soon became known as HQ2. With its promised $5 billion investment and $50,000 jobs. Ultimately, Amazon ended up going in a different direction in an effort to attract and retain top-notch employees.
And towards the end of that process, we realized that because attracting talent was our primary factor, the driving factor in this decision, that splitting that second headquarters into two, so essentially a second and a third headquarters, made the most sense.
Here's the prize. The company is promising at least 25,000 jobs in each location. It also announced it will create 5,000 jobs at a new operations hub in Nashville. Some critics have called the whole enterprise a stunt to pit cities against one another and to maximize tax breaks. In the end, Amazon will be enjoying nearly $2.5 billion in tax breaks in the locations involved. Security concerns delaying the start of opening statements in the trial of the notorious Mexican cartel boss known as El Chapo.
A juror submitting a handwritten note from her doctor saying that she had been suffering from anxiety ever since being selected. Prosecutors and the defense agreeing to dismiss her and forced to pick a replacement.
Well, I think it's important, one, for jurors to feel that they are safe.
Opening statements in the trial beginning under unprecedented security measures. That includes armed escorts for the anonymous and partially sequestered jurors, heavily armed federal marshals, metal detectors, bomb-sniffing dogs even in the courtroom. And get this, an air and ground police motorcade that shuts down the Brooklyn Bridge every time El Chapo is moved back and forth from federal lockup to the courtroom.
Despite all the hoopla and the folklore about Chapo, this Robin Hood kind of mystique, he's a vicious criminal.
El Chapo, whose real name is Joaquin Guzman, has made multiple escapes from Mexican prisons in the past. He was most recently recaptured in 2016 and a year later extradited to the United States.
El Chapo faces a 17-count indictment accused of being involved in dozens of murders, smuggling more than 200 tons of drugs, and making billions of dollars in drug deals here in the U.S. and around the world. The trial could last as long as 4 months. Here's a live look from our camera atop the Red Line Hotel, part of our Toyota Dealers Tower Cam network. Scott's back after this.
Heading out the door tomorrow will be a lot like heading out the door today. It should be about the same thing. Real chilly in the morning. The light breeze, boy, you really know it's still breezy out there. In the summertime, you don't even see it. But boy, when the breeze is blowing and it's this cold, it feels chilly. So sunshine will come in tomorrow. The afternoon will be nice. Still waiting for snow. There'll be some snow in the Central Mountains on Friday night. I'll update you on that. Plus, we'll keep you updated tomorrow on the rain coming in for California in a week.
Oh, okay. Good night.
Kimmel next.